Hi, everybody, it's Mark Majors, and I have the honor today to be in the presence of Matt Pilata and Mark Schultz from The Road to Sundance. And what we're here today is we wanted to talk and really find out what is happening behind the scenes when it comes to music production, and specifically to, you've got some exciting details about some new episodes that are coming out.
Right.
So let's first talk about Mark. You work exclusively with Matt to produce the music that's behind the scenes on the show. Tell us about how you work together and really what inspires the music.
Well, Matt will usually bring me a scene or section or a piece and say, I've kind of got this idea, depending on what's going on in the clip. The music is meant to be another layer of humor, so usually there's some kind of joke involved, whether it just depends. I don't want to give it all away, but there's another level of humor. So then we kind of come up with what that's going to be, and then it's my job to sort it all out and perform it.
So is it, when Matt, when he's writing the music and you've got a scene, what's the biggest challenge that you find as the director, as the actor?
As the director, working with the musician working with any talent it's not going to be exactly what's in your head, but you have to be able to accept the fact that sometimes what they have in their minds is better than what you had originally come up with.
Always.
Yeah,
always.
He would say always. I'm going to say sometimes. There's definitely times where, I have this idea and he's got this idea and we kind of bump heads, but in the end we always come to some kind of agreement where both parties are happy. And in the end, we're always left with some really good pieces of music regardless. And people have mentioned on several occasions, made comments, on the YouTube pages about, music notes that they picked up, and the one guy's like, hey, that kind of sounded like the Top Gun thing. Is that what you were going for? It's like, yeah, we purposely parody these things, but that's probably the toughest challenge.
We talked earlier about the music and that you had to come up with a sound that represented Cleveland and Ohio. Talk about that. Talk about how you came up with this. If your content is humorous, how do you tie that into this area, and how did you come about with that?
Well, Matt initially told me he wanted something with a very Ohio sound, and I just couldn't think of anything other than country music. At least for me, growing up in southern Ohio, that's all there was, is country music. So I took it one step further, made it a little bit more bluegrass, so that everything is filtered through that. If we're parodying a TV show theme or a movie theme or a pop song, it becomes a two-step with a strict instrumentation of banjo, mandolin, pedal steel, guitar, bass. I think that was about it. Fiddle.
Which is a parody in and of itself, because Cleveland really isn't the country, but that's, I think, how a lot of people outside, like, oh, isn't Cleveland cows and farms, and isn't that, so then what we did was we played that up, and Mark took it this further step than I ever thought it was going to go, but the banjo and everything, and I listened to it the first time, I go, I don't know, and then you watched it with the show, and you're like, yeah, this is it. This is exactly what we need.
So tell us about The Road to Sundance. And if you could sum it up quickly, what the show is, so someone can get a picture. Because if they have not obviously seen the show and we're talking about the music, what are they going to click on and what are they going to see?
Well, The Road to Sundance on a shoestring budget is about a group of people in Ohio who are trying to make an independent film and get it into Sundance. So it's not a far stretch from what we've done. The only difference is these people are like straight out of maybe Seinfeld or, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They're idiots. Most of them don't know what they're doing. The ones who do are pretty apathetic about the experience. And so you get a colorful crew of people from all different walks of life working on this film together in Northeast Ohio, and kind of the pitfalls that actually happen in real life, and then kind of the crazy things that these different characters bring into the storyline. So,
is there, after hearing what Matt just said about the show, is there anything that you would add from a music perspective, that if they've got all these characters, do you have to pinpoint out each character and make a particular sound for each one? Like, for example, you mentioned Seinfeld. You can think of Kramer, for example, and if there was a sound for him, he may have a theme. Do you work that way with each character development?
No, I didn't in this one. I didn't give each character a theme at all. It's more just an overall feeling of the crew, the whole gang, and being in Ohio and working on this film. I know a lot of people will do that, a specific theme.
Right.
If anything, the show has a theme, and we have the title theme that we actually put together. And that was the one instrument I did not play. I hired a real fiddler to come in and play the theme song, and that worked out really well. She did a great job.
So essentially, you're playing all the music instruments on all of the music except for
the opening title, that theme, that fiddle. I got a real fiddler.
One instrument, other than
great.
one instrument in the entire 20 episodes.
That's great. So, I guess my final question is: if I were to tune in, why should I tune in? And if you were to a couple sentences put together why I should tune in and watch The Road to Sundance, why?
First and foremost, it's Cleveland talent producing Cleveland work, and I think everyone from Northeast Ohio should support each other. And on top of that, it's funny. I think it's really funny, and I think just the reviews we've gotten from other people, Yahoo Movies who did a story on us, and we had a few other people, just the unsolicited comments and views that people like it. It's funny, it's smart, and especially people in production, we can laugh at ourselves through these characters.
Excellent. Well, thanks for taking the time out today, talking about your project. It's very exciting, and I just wanted to add, if you haven't seen any of the episodes, check them out. They are funny, and I think you'll generally enjoy where the story is going. And there's more. There's more coming out, right?
The last 5 episodes launched December 1st through 29th on Tuesday of every Tuesday in December 2009 here at www.roadtosundance.com.